puppets!
Hi, I'm BJ. Welcome to Science Time Experimenting at Home. Do you like doing experiments? I love experimenting. And at home, you can do lots of experiments with things that you find around the house. Today, we're experimenting with shadows. Have you ever seen a shadow before? Maybe outside on a sunny day? Well, we're going to make shadows inside today. What do you think we need to make a shadow? First, we need a light. You can use a lamp or a torch, or you can even ask your grown-ups if they'll use the torch on their phone. That's what I'm going to use today. So I'll turn the light on. Oh, can you see that? It's quite bright, isn't it? Then we need something to shine our light on, like this wall. What do you think will happen if I put my hand in front of the light, between the light and the wall? Let's test. Do you see? I've made a hand shadow. Hello. Hey, when my hand moves, what happens to my hand shadow? It moves as well. Open, close, open, close. So whatever my hand does, my hand shadow does as well. I can even make my hand into different shapes. So what does this shape look like? Ruff, 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 ruff. Ruff, a bit like a dog. Or this one. Quack, 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 quack. You can make your hands into all different shapes and make some shadow hand puppets. Tweet, 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 tweet. What do you think will happen to my hand shadow if I move my hand closer to the light? We can experiment. And when we do an experiment in science, it's good to ask a question, have a bit of a think, and then test it. So, have you had a think? What might happen? Shall we test? What do you see? What's happening to the shadow? As I move my hand closer to the light, the shadow gets bigger. What do you think will happen to the shadow if I move it further away from the light? Let's test. It gets smaller. So we can make our shadows bigger and smaller by moving them closer and further away from the light. Now, my hand makes a really good shadow because it blocks the light from touching the wall. I wonder what other things will make good shadows. I'm going to set up my light there because in this drawer I've got lots of different materials that I found around the house, and we'll see if they can make good shadows. Do you think a paper will make a shadow when we put it in front of the light? Let's test. Yeah, makes a nice dark shadow. What else have we got? Some red cellophane. Will that make a shadow? What do you think? Let's test. What's happening? The light is shining through the cellophane and making a coloured shadow. Well, I like that. That's good. What else have we got? Here, I've got a plastic lid. I wonder if that'll make a shadow. What do you think? Shall we test? Yes, you can see the shadow, but you notice the shadow's not quite as dark as my hand shadow was. Some of the light is shining through the plastic. I wonder what would happen if we drew a picture on our plastic lid. I've got a crayon and I'll draw a picture. Now what do you think will happen? Let's test. Do you see? The crayon is blocking some of the light from shining through the plastic. You can experiment at home with different things you can put on the plastic, maybe crayon or texture or even paint, and see if they block the light. That was good. Now, we can make some other shadow puppets. I'm going to use paper. And here, I've got some paper and I've cut it out like a little person. To make a puppet, you can stick something on it as well. I've used a pencil, but you can use chopsticks, anything you like. And Now I've got a little handle for my puppet. Let's see what happens when we put it in front of the light. Here's our shadow puppet, do you see? And we can make it bigger. Do you remember how? We can move it closer to the light. Or we can make it smaller. Can we see a face on our shadow person? We can't, can we? Because the shadow we can see around the edge of the puppet, but the paper is blocking all the light, so we can't see a face. How do you think we could make a shadow puppet have a face? Maybe if we take away some of the paper so the light can shine through. Here, I've cut out some eyes and a mouth. When the light shines on it, what do you think will happen? Let's test. Do you see? Now our shadow puppet has a face. Hello, I'm very happy. You can also maybe stick some coloured cellophane onto your puppet face. I wonder what that will look like. You can experiment at home and find out. You can make puppets out of all sorts of things that you find around the house. You can make paper ones like we have, or you can find other stuff. I went into the kitchen and found some spoons. Here I've got a wooden spoon. There we go. I put some wool on. Now the wool feels nice and soft. But you see, as I move the puppet, the wool hair moves. Do you think its shadow will move as well? Let's test. Oh, look, it looks a bit like hair moving around. Now I can make other things as well and use other materials. So here I've got some foil. This feels a bit stiffer than the wool and it makes a nice sound as well. What will this look like? Let's test. Hey, the hair doesn't move around as much, but it looks nice and spiky, doesn't it? It makes pointy shadows. And I can make it bigger and smaller. Now, do you see how I'm moving the puppet? By moving my hand? I wonder if there's any other way we can make our puppets move. Maybe you could find a toy that moves, like a toy car, and put your puppet on that. Here, I've got a toy car and I stuck a puppet on. Shall we test and see what happens? I'll give the car a bit of a push. It went all the way on the other side and it made our puppet move across the table. Now, lots of things will make a shadow. What about your toys? Do you think your toys could make a shadow? You can experiment with all your different toys and see what their shadow looks like. Here I've got my favourite toy, Muddy the Muddaburrasaur. I wonder what Muddy's shadow will look like. Do you see his shadow there? We can make it bigger. Oh, it's a big dinosaur. Or smaller. You look very nice, Muddy. Yes, you do. Once you've experimented with making puppets out of different materials around the house and seeing what your toy shadows look like as well, then you might even like to make some stories. So here we've got our spoon shadow and our dinosaur shadow. Oh, hello. Hello. Hello, how are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you? Oh no, it's a dinosaur. At least it's only a little dinosaur. Oh no, it's getting bigger and bigger. I better run away. Ah! So you can make up some stories with your puppets and then you can put on a puppet show for your family. You can use the wall like this as your puppet theatre, or you might like to try a sheet. Get a big sheet and stick it on 2 chairs and you can make a puppet theatre. Here, I've got one that I made earlier. And when we make a puppet theatre like this, we don't need to put the light in front of the puppet theatre. We can put it behind. What do you think will happen? Shall we test? So if I put the light behind the puppet theatre, the light shines through. And if I put something in front, you can see the shadow. You can't see my hand though, you can only see the shadow. So let's set up our puppet theatre scenery. Here, I've made some trees out of cardboard so we can pretend our story takes place in the forest. So we'll put it in front like that. There we go. Stand it up. Perfect. When you're doing your puppet show, you might like to experiment with different lights. Now the lights are quite bright in this room, and I wonder what the shadows will look like if we turn the lights down a little bit. Let's experiment. Do you see? We can see the shadows really well. You can experiment with the lights in your home. You can maybe close the curtains or do it at night time as well after the sun goes down. And see what difference it makes to your shadows. So here we've got our scenery and we'll get our shadow puppets. We've got our spoon puppet and our toy puppet. Let's see what it looks like. Here I am, walking in the forest, minding my own business, until, oh no, here comes a dinosaur. Ah, I better run away, run away, run away, run away. Lots of fun. So we'll turn the lights back up. So experiment at home with shining your torch through lots of different materials and see which makes different sorts of shadows. You can use all different materials to make some shadow puppets. You might like to have stuff that moves on your puppet or stuff that doesn't. And then after you've done all your shadow puppet experimenting, you can put on a puppet show for your family. I want to see what you've been doing as well. So make sure you record your wonderful experiments to show me. You can take photos, or you can make a video like I have today, or you can draw a picture and you can send it to me so I can see all the wonderful experimenting that you're doing with shadows. So I'm going to keep playing with my shadow puppet theatre now, and we will see you next Science Time experimenting at home. Bye.